Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
So Marcus Sasser was picked by Memphis, who's going to Boston, who's now going to Detroit for number 31.
Well, okay. Well, look, you know what? I love that Marcus Sasser pick.
I don't even know which way's up.
I love Marcus Sasser. I think Marcus Sasser is a fantastic pick here. I think he makes a lot of sense with Detroit because of the way that he can shoot and the way that he can guard. And if you are Detroit and you have some bigger guards and some bigger initiators when in Cade Cunningham and in a guy like Jaden Ivey, I think bringing in a smaller player that can be your floor spacer, you're not going to get hurt because you can have him guard point guards, right?
A good second unit spurtable guy. Spurtable guy.
Are you still trying to figure out who's going to where?
You called him a spurtable guy?
Spurtable guy. Spurtable.
That Prosper's pick surprises me.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think about Marcus Sasser going to Detroit?
That's where we're at right now, RC.
Yeah,
he's still hung up on Omax. He's trying to figure out where Omax is right now. Omax got traded to Oklahoma City. He's going to Dallas, and there's a Rashawn Holmes that's going on. I think Vegas is starting to weigh on you right now. Is that what it is?
Oh, I'm ready to get up. No, I have been here too long. Ain't no doubt about that. I'm shocked he went this early. I thought he would have been a second round pick because of his size, and he's more an off the ball guard. I don't see him as a point guard in the NBA. I do think he's a guy that can score and can shoot, but
dude,
first round pick.
Yeah, especially with what's valued so much in today's game.
Right. Yeah. I'm just surprised he's gone this early because he's at the next level. He has to be a point guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing about putting him next to Cade Cunningham is that Cade will be your
primary decision maker, no doubt.
Your point guard, right? So you could take someone that's a little bit smaller. He's going to guard. He's going to be a pain in the ass at the point of attack. He can shoot it. He can fight through screens. I want to roll through real quick some of the best guys that are left available. I don't think there's anybody that has necessarily slid, but Leonard Miller, G League Ignite program, is still on the board. We have Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State. Some people thought he was going to be a top 20 pick. He is still on the board. Nick Smith Jr. from Arkansas, a player that was a top 5 prospect coming into college that dealt with some injury stuff, that dealt with a whole bunch of shenanigans going on, got benched because of his defense by the end of the season at different times. He is still on the board. Your boy, Colby Jones, is still on the board. Julian Phillips, still on the board. G.G. Jackson, still on the board. I think that this draft, because of NIL, it's a little bit weaker once you get to the mid to late second round. But to me, there's still some guys here that are going to be impact players in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree with that. And now you're looking for potential role guys.
Yep.
At this point in the draft, especially since Memphis is pretty deep with young, talented guys. Indiana could go another defensive player, and then Charlotte. I'm naming off these teams as if I know who the hell's picking and who's not picking and what team they're picking for. But at this point of the draft, I do think there's some value from now until about 45 with guys that can really help teams win on a given night, not an every night type of deal, but on a given night.
RC, what do you think?
I think it just, curious as to, it's massive to see where kids are going, right? I mean, we talked about the Memphis and the Boston trade. Those are 2 playoff teams. None of these kids are coming in really helping those teams so much. I think that you're looking for bench guys, depth at the most, is why I've been so big on Kobe Jones. I'd like his size and his ability to guard and play off the ball and kind of fit in on the second unit of an NBA roster right now. But there's a big difference in going here and then, in 2 more picks, you got Charlotte coming up again, where there isn't as much talent, where there is an opportunity possibly to play, as opposed to going to Boston. So I like Marcus. I think he's a shooter, defender, but let's see. I'm curious to see what the rest of these guys, the guys that we're talking about that I like the most, I told you I'm a big Kobe Jones fan. I just think at this point, if I want to look at one of these guys, I think I get more out of what he brings day one as opposed to – because some of these guys are going to find out, nobody's waiting around. That's the tough part about picks, like the Noah Clowney pick. We talked about 2 or 3 years. Coaches ain't got 2 or 3 years to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I need you coming through the door giving me something right now. So if I'm one of these teams, I mean, Rick Carlisle is an NBA champion coach, and he wants guys to come in and help him right away. He don't want to sit and wait 3 or 4 more years for somebody to show up.
Yep. All right. So let's real quick. Let me reset what's kind of happened here in the last couple of picks. At 21, we had Noah Clowney going to the Nets. At 22, Dariq Whitehead went to the Nets. 23, Chris Murray went to the Trailblazers. At 24, Omax Prosper, drafted by the Kings. He's being sent to the Mavericks. And at 25, we had the Grizzlies drafting Marcus Sasser, who traded him to the Boston Celtics, who then traded him to the Detroit Pistons for pick 31 and a couple of future picks. Before we get into what's happening in the last 5 picks of the first round, I do want to ask you guys about what happened with the Wizards and the Grizzlies and the Celtics and the Kristaps Porzingis trade. So, to recap, the Wizards get Tyus Jones, Dalano Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and the number 35 pick. The Grizzlies get Marcus Smart, and the Celtics get Kristaps Porzingis, the number 25 pick they just moved, and a future first-round pick from the Warriors in 2024. Effectively, what it is basically Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis if you are the Celtics. How do you feel about that if you're Boston? RC.
I love it. I think they had to do something. And getting Kristaps Porzingis as a third scoring option that this team poorly needed. All right. And then now you got a big that can stretch the floor, that now you're dictating switching, you're dictating matchups. Whereas with their lineups and their big, teams were living with saying, hey, Al Horford, we're going to live with it whether you can make shots. Williams wasn't a perimeter. You already in drop coverage. You can't do that with Porzingis. Your ass got to switch that and or just rotate. And really, it's going to be switching. So now that's going to free up Tatum and Brown, because when they come off that dribble handoff or any ball screen with him, you just got to switch it because he shoots it too well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the fit. And Al Horford's getting a little long in the tooth. And as well as he plays in the playoffs, I mean, Al's 3-4 years older than me. So you add some length there, you add some weak side shot blocking, that's possible. I think Porzingis is a good player. I thought maybe, people forgot about him when he was with the Wizards because they're never on national television. Nobody ever really watches the Wizards. He's a good player. He's not a second option, but I think he's at his best as a third. And this to me says, Marcus Smart, it was time for him to move on. And guys, I don't know what it was about the Celtics during the playoffs, but Marcus Smart always seemed to be the guy that ended up with the shot. Like, you have all that talent, and Marcus Smart is your choice to get that shot. So you take him out of the equation, you add some shooting, you add size, some weak side help, shot blocking ability. I think it's a good pickup for them. I think Tyus Jones is an underrated pickup for Washington, though. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, but they just suck, and he's going somewhere now. If I'm another team, I try to get him as a backup point guard. I think he's a really, really good point guard, but he's going to a team that there's nobody to pass to. So how much of his game?
You don't have to worry about it. Just get it up to Jordan Poole. He's going to shoot it.
Yeah, that's true. He may not get it. That'll be the concern with him. He'd be lucky if he could get the ball.
Jordan Poole will steal the inbounds.
How? I will say this: assuming that
he's going to shoot it.
He said he's still the inbound.
Dude, I played with Patty Mills, and Patty Mills turned into a great player, right? I played with him at Eurocamp. I don't think Patty Mills passed the ball one time the entire week, and he didn't even want to throw it in bounds.
Hey,
we had to force him to throw the ball in bounds. He almost got a 5 count. There's nobody pressing. He just didn't want to pass it. Like, it was that bad. Good for him. This is a good pick for Indiana. This kid can play.
Yeah, well, Ben Shepherd, 26 to Indiana. I'm going to ask you about him in 1 second. I do just want to say, I don't know if there is a better fit when it comes to toughness, craziness, insanity. Wanted to pick fights, wanted to flop. wanted to act ridiculous than Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies. It makes so much sense.
It's a nonsense fiesta.
Yeah, you lose Dylan Brooks, who was a little bit out of his mind, couldn't really shoot it as well as he thought he could, played a little bit of defense, maybe not as well as he thought he could, and talked too much shit to LeBron in the media. And you add him with a guy in Marcus Smart who does a lot of those same things, but just does it a little bit better, right?
You need his leadership in that locker room. You know, with so much going on with Ja, you need that leadership guy. You need a stand-up guy like Marcus Smart in that locker room now to help that team. If they want to turn the corner, you're adding him. Now they got 2 defensive player of the year caliber guys and what they're going to need. And obviously Ja, things turn around for Ja to get themselves going. If they want to come out of the West, the West is loaded. I mean, there's no let up.
Our partner for today's episode is Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 during the college basketball season, and I loved the impact that it had on my energy levels. I'm a big coffee in the morning guy, but by the time that the afternoon would hit, I needed another boost. AG1 helped me tremendously, especially on those days when I didn't want to get up off the couch and go hit the gym. Their tagline is AG1 is comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. And man, that could not be more true. It's nearly impossible to eat and drink in a healthy manner in the month of February and the month of March when you are in my business. And AG1 was exactly the supplement that I needed to improve my gut health and cover my nutritional basis for the day. I've continued that into April. I've continued that into May, and I'm going to continue that the rest of the summer. All I have to do is mix a scoop of AG1 with some water or maybe add it into a smoothie, and I'm ready to go. Do it after lunch, and you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's field 68 FIELD, the number 6, the number 8, and you can get yours now. So check it out and help support this show. Thanks. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.